Granbell rarely expressed his emotions, and because of that, they could tell how deep Granbell's hatred and fury truly ran. "I'm tired. If this continues on, the human world will be destroyed, and in its place, Demon Lord Rimuru will have the entire world in the palm of his hand. If this is our fate, then I shall make my last stand. I am going all in for this wager. You people can follow your own will." Granbell had given the others time to contemplate their decision for the future. Would they follow Granbell to fight against destiny, or surrender to Demon Lord Rimuru? In order to prevent the Rosso bloodline from dying out, someone needed to sever all ties and become a hostile faction to the Rossos. Only Dolan chose this option. "My domain is far from the heat of battle. I shall be the last of the Rosso family and judge the history to come with fairness." Granbell approved of Dolan's words. "Very well. I fear that I won't have the opportunity to do this in the future, so I shall give my final words to you. It's too late for me, but you must never hold a grudge." Granbell steeled his resolve and left Dolan with this advice. Dolan quietly wept and nodded. He then left the scene alone. Johann knew this would be their final gathering, yet he had no regrets in his heart. Granbell was the progenitor of the Rosso family. When considering the hardship he had already experienced, to Johann, sacrificing himself for the cause was nothing. Sidra had the same thought. And so, the three began planning their final scheme. Granbell would manipulate Grandmaster Yuki of the Freedom Association into confronting Luminous. Sidra would dissolve the Western Defense Network and allow the demons from the north to wage war against the Western nations. Johann, on the other hand, would sabotage the defensive barrier that protected the capital of Ingratia and kill off key members of the Western Council. If it was possible, he aimed to kill the delegate of the Tempest Federation, hopefully antagonizing Demon Lord Rimuru and also worsening his relationship with Demon Lord Gi. And so, human society would be plunged into chaos. They would deal with the aftermath later. After all, their designated survivor, Dolan, would lead the restoration of society. There might also be some nation that stood out and rose to power. Or perhaps someone would become humanity's new hope and lead the masses. Granbell seemed to have some other ideas, but Johann did not give too much thought to it. "Are you all fine with this? You do understand that I am sending you all to your deaths, right? Why in the world would we object? I am also a member of the Rossos, and my heart rests with you, Grand Elder." "Me too. While my illness-ridden body may not accompany you to the end, I wish to be at least of some use." Granbell had asked to confirm their will, and both Johann and Sidra answered without hesitation. There was a reason why Johann's mind changed so quickly. The Rosso family naturally should follow the order of Granbell. Without his guardianship, the family would never have prospered. This was just how much the fate of the family relied on Granbell. It was obvious Granbell had decided to embrace his death, and so the usually indecisive Johann made up his mind. Dolan Dono appears heartbroken as well. It's like a child being abandoned by his parents. Surely his heart must be uneasy too, Johann thought to himself. In considering that viewpoint, perhaps he was rather happy in the end. He could bear the pride of the Rosso family and accept his final moments. Johann followed Granbell's orders and made contact with the Apostles of Vert, which previously conspired with Gavin. He promised to assist them. The Apostles' goal was to summon the green deity that could plunge the world into anarchy. This mercenary band's dream was to blossom during that chaotic state, an ideal that was completely self-centered. Back to present time. Johann's mission was complete. The Apostles of Vert had also clearly achieved their ambitions. Because their god demon peer Mizeri had answered their summoning. Mizeri was more terrifying than some demon lords. She wouldn't break a sweat in destroying the kingdom of Ingratia. Kukuku, even the supposed strongest unit of this nation, the magical inquisitors, froze at the sight of the demon. This country is doomed. Our nation of Rosso will probably be affected as well. I suppose I'll just have to apologize to everyone in the next life. In satisfaction, Johann glanced around the meeting hall. And what he saw next made him question his eyes. Face against Mizeri, the embodiment of horror, was a person that wore a gentle, conspicuous smile. The young man standing beside her seemed disinterested at the fact as well, completely at ease. Well, what's wrong with those two? Johann, shocked, recalled that those two were the delegates of Tempest. Testarossa and her servant, Moss. I see. What an interesting scheme, Johann Dono. Could it be that you wish to destroy this nation and plunge the world into chaos and war? Testarossa's reaction displeased Johann quite a bit. He was even more upset at how casual and calm Testarossa was acting while facing Mizeri, the walking calamity that surpassed demon lords. What if I did? Yet he quickly changed his view. While Testarossa may be strong as a monster, her arrogant confidence would soon be her downfall. You can't do anything with strength alone. You haven't even seen through your opponent's true strength. That ignorance will destroy you. When she finally realizes the reality of her situation, she'll cry and plead. By purely imagining the sight of a distressed Testarossa begging for mercy, Johann's heart was filled with an overwhelming sense of ecstasy. How very laughable. Your plan failed the very moment I was appointed military attaché. Kukuku, what nonsense are you talking about? Hearing Testarossa's words, a calm smile settled on Johann's face. The more confident Testarossa was, the greater her despair would be when she got a taste of what was to come. With that belief, Johann eagerly anticipated that moment. It was then that the speaker interrupted their conversation. Testarossa Dono, this is no time to chit-chat. You must escape even if it's by yourself, and you must report to His Majesty Rimuru as soon as possible. Speaker Dono. What should I say to His Majesty Rimuru-sama? In the Western nations, people's comprehension of demons was not deep. Compared to the experts in the Eastern Empire, what they knew was barely the tip of the iceberg. The speaker was no exception. When he saw Mizeri, he was not aware of her species. He only knew that she was the subordinate of Geek Crimson, the symbol of terror, and therefore determined Mizeri to be a highly threatening individual. Ignorance is a sin, but sometimes it was useful too. Had the speaker and the counselors known demons well enough, their hearts would have despaired the moment Mizeri appeared. They were lucky since they hadn't fallen into that state yet, which was why the speaker continued to earnestly beg Testarossa. Please inform him that one of Demon Lord Gi's subordinates has invaded our land. Surely he will not leave the council for dead. The speaker knew he was being too optimistic. Regardless of how much Demon Lord Rimuru sought to coexist with humans, he would not purposely go against Demon Lord Gi, just to secure his wish. It was a simple cost-benefit analysis that anyone would understand. Yet even with that being the case, the speaker still wanted to have a glimmer of hope on this small possibility. He has seen Demon Lord Rimuru with his own two eyes and believed his words. Perhaps if it is that emotional and overtly human Demon Lord, he may justify logic and save us despite knowing that his thought was absurd. The speaker couldn't help but to think so. That was the reason why he was still able to maintain a coherent frame of mind amidst the terror. Testarossa smiled at the speaker. That's why I am here. Although the speaker didn't understand what she meant by that for the longest time, he would soon enough. And he was not the only one confused about Testarossa's words. Johann felt the same. That compass, the seagoing attitude of Testarossa had pushed him to his limit. Do you really think I'll just sit by and let you interfere? Gerard Dono, it's about time to give them a reality check. However, Gerard, as he was being ordered around by Johann, was also confused by the scene in front of him. Why hasn't Mizeri-sama made a move yet? Ain was Gerard's lieutenant, and she had lost consciousness the instant demon peer Mizeri was summoned. It likely cost much of her life force, but it was undoubtedly masterful work. The fact that she was even alive at all was commendable. Although, without the supernatural power of Mizeri, she would likely never wake up. While feeling proud of Ain, Gerard prepared to retreat once the opportunity presented itself. With the unusual power of Mizeri, it'd be a piece of cake slaughtering everyone at the scene. Besides, even the capital of the kingdom of Ingratia would soon become engulfed by the hellish flame that was about to come. Gerard was planning to flee with Ain before that happened. He intended to sacrifice all the citizens of this city to their god Mizeri. And with this contribution, the members of the Apostles of Vert would surely be able to join the ranks of their deity. That was his plan. However, things were going the opposite way of what Gerard had envisioned. Ever since Mizeri showed up, she had been standing still and silently staring at Testarossa. Finally, she decided to speak. Unbelievable, Blanc. How did you manage to get a body? That title sounds so desolate to me. Someone has already given me the wonderful name of Testarossa. Wouldn't you dislike it if people started calling you the Green Demon? No, Mizeri. You got a name. How is that possible? Testarossa giggled. Very possible it seems. It's so kind of you to come all the way here to say hi, but unfortunately, I won't lose to you in this state. It'd be quite amusing if you still intend to fight me. How about 1,000 years of slumber as a parting gift from me? She said provokingly with an elegant smile. Not only did she obtain a body, but she even received a name. And just like that, Testarossa had evolved into a demon peer, same as Mizeri. They were now both on a level playing field. At first glance, their combat abilities were on par with each other, but logically speaking, Testarossa, who only acquired her body recently, would be at a disadvantage. That would have been the case if not for Testarossa's bellicose personality. Mizeri, as Demon Lord Gi's subordinate, mainly handled administrative affairs, whereas Testarossa, a primordial just like Mizeri, had been fighting for power every single day of her life. There was no clear-cut way to compare either of them in combat experience. Furthermore, Testarossa's subordinate, Moss, was here with her. While I possess more magicules, I don't want to risk fighting two demon peers. Moreover, my opponent is one half of the troublesome black and white duo. The duty Gi-sama gave me was just to create a disturbance at the capital, not risk my life trying to eliminate one of the primordials. I should report this problem to Gi-sama first. Mizeri was very calm. She instantly recognized the difference in strength between her and her enemies, and determined the best course of action that the situation demanded. There is no need to provoke me like that, blah. Testarossa. My target today is not you, but only to destroy the barrier over the capital. I think I achieved my goal. Are you trying to flee? Indeed. My life belongs to Gisama. It is not something I can choose to throw away with my own free will. I see. Then I look forward to our next encounter. To that declaration, Mizery remained emotionless. That is my line. Get used to your body soon. I won't allow you to make excuses when you're defeated. Testarossa's smile deepened. The two stared at each other for a while before Mizery vanished. Gerard couldn't help but let out a gasp. With her departure, she left behind a room full of baffled bystanders.